Make
Yeah,
NASCAR.
Just thank you. Thank you for all the times that you come to the racetrack and set in the rain. Thank you for all the times you come to the racetrack and set in 200-degree heat.
Thanks.
NASCAR fans, it's true. You're the best in all of sport.
we're back.
Damn.
Good putt.
Oh. Ooh. Good putt. Yeah, thank you. Dog, what is Keynes's? Familiar with that location. Oh,
Right?
good break,
Really hard right there.
Into the putt.
Keynes's fried chicken, dog. I figured you would be the one that knew about it.
Ball
Oh,
starts slowing
Keynes?
down.
Keynes's?
Keynes's?
I don't know. I never heard of it.
Fried chicken?
I don't know.
Oh, Tony doesn't want to have the 2001 Daytona 500 post races
Dog,
background noise.
I'm pretty sure that's a northern chicken chain.
Never heard of it.
Wow.
Yeah, dog. They're up in Virginia and Ohio.
Oh yeah, that's northern, dog.
Ohio?
Yeah, Tony's lit in Alaska, dog. Tell him that that's not the north.
Yes, it's in the deep south.
Yes. Maybe I have to reinstall the game to get it to stop.
Why does it keep fucking doing that?
Oh,
recentering
no.
my mouse?
Ooh. What is it doing?
It's stopping my meter before I get to the aiming part.
Without clicking?
Yes.
Good bogey, dog.
Thank you.
Partridge. Congrats on the par, Tony.
Thank you, sir.
That's in the garden spot.
Welcome to 200 miles per hour on the world's fastest racetrack. Kyle Petty running in 7th position.
We're watching the 1982 Winston 500.
Yay.
And back to golf.
Down on the racetrack. Indeed, that is the situation. Richard Petty was running 13th, but
Good ball.
obviously has a problem with that car. After yesterday's practice period here at Talladega, there was great concern in the Petty pit and the garage area because that car was not performing up to snuff in the practice yesterday, and obviously it has not performed well today.
Bob, they were having fuel pickup problems.
Guys, get your stimulus checks today.
Yeah, I already spent it.
Wow, that was fast.
I got mine on New Year's Day.
Putting a lot of extra hours in on that car.
Did not.
Apparently they don't have them solved yet. This racetrack has not been particularly kind to the king of stock car racing, Richard Petty.
We'll return with more live coverage of the
What'd you spend yours on? Chicken?
Water cooling.
Benny Parsons is the leader,
Oh.
Earnhardt second, and Terry Labonte third. Richard Petty is in the
Gonna put dyes in the liquid so it like changes color based on the temperature.
No. Oh, no.
As he experienced yesterday.
Yeah, it would certainly indicate that, and they're prepared with quite a number of tools.
Giant model David Hasselhoff they used in the first SpongeBob movie is up for auction right now. Currently at $975,000.
Whoa!
That wasn't him?
I mean, not
So tough luck for Richard Petty.
all of it.
So far this year has finished 27th at Daytona, second at Richmond, 7th at Bristol, second at Atlanta, 30th at Rockingham,
Spelling David
31st at
Hasselhoff?
Darlington, 5th at North Wilkesboro,
The model dog.
at Martinsville. The leader
It's
is
quite large.
Parsons, second place is Dale Earnhardt as they flash down the backstretch, and also doing testing each other out there on the racetrack. Bill Elliott in number 9, the Melling Tool Ford, and Donnie Allison not
Wow.
too far from Bill.
Well, Elliott's been in the lead pack. He sat on the pole in a super speed.
Niggers made this fucking game.
Race, but he's in it for possibly today.
Oh, fuck, you're streaming.
Back to the leader.
It's okay. Bob
And-
Pickens is screaming, Bill Elliott, Bill Elliott, Bill Elliott. Hopefully you couldn't hear it.
You sure that wasn't Larry Newber?
I think Larry Newber is keeping quiet.
Fortunately, it would appear I'm the only one watching the stream at the moment, but it is going to go to YouTube after this.
This is Darrell Waltrip and Harry Gant, the two green and white cars running side by side with Kyle Petty right there also.
Well, that's 5th, 6th, 7th in the lap car of Buddy Baker as they scream down the 4,000-foot backstretch. It's relatively flat compared to the 33-degree bank.
Great ball. Great approach.
Thank you, sir.
That looks like a tough putt, though.
Yeah, I'm fucking
through the
tired.
south turns 3 and 4, now into the trioval. The Skull Bandit leads this group of cars at least. This lap around, across the start-finish stripe. It's Harry Bandit, that's a good one. Harry Gant running in
Watch his
5th
chip in,
position
boys.
as he crosses to complete lap number 87.
And Kyle Petty is running in 6th position. He has seen his father into the pit area. Last time around, Richard went back out on the racetrack, but now Richard Petty pulls into the pit area, and we watch down pit road and see that Richard Petty has put the car behind the wall. So Richard Petty is going to be out of this competition. His son Kyle continues to run out there in 6th position.
God
There's
fucking
Richard Petty
damn it!
pulling behind the
What are you
pit wall
doing?
and calling it a day in the Winston 500.
Well, Petty, as we commented, has not
About to be tenderizing the green with his 4-iron.
once here at this track. Kyle Petty, you saw momentarily there in a slide, and Kyle Petty with a great recovery job coming down the front stretch through the tri-oval that time.
Great
Kyle Petty
move.
running in
Don't
6th
you say another
position.
goddamn
He has
word.
brought back a few cars because of that little slide there in the tri-oval area, but he'll get back on the accelerator as they go down the backstretch and try to catch up with Harry Gant, who is running in 5th position. The distance between Harry Gant in 5th and the 4th place car is almost a half a turn here, so Harry Gant could not be considered in the lead draft, but certainly is in a challenging position. The first 4 cars that are running nose to tail and side to side on the racetrack. Dale Earnhardt,
In the hole! Or not!
and Terry Labonte.
Ouch.
You know, we were looking at Gann a couple of minutes ago. You certainly can't count him out. There's Benny Parsons, who continues to dominate this race, and you know, I go along with Travis Carter.
Way
I don't know
off.
if it's cat and mouse, but boy, Benny really looks strong. Harry Gant, who won last week for the first time after all those second-place finishes, there were a lot of people who thought it might open the floodgates. They've been so close so many times to victory that Harry Gant might start winning a lot as soon as they were able to just sneak in that first win. They did it last week, so a lot of people are also watching Harry Gant here at Talladega this weekend.
Number 70 car of J.D. McDuffie, the Max Stores Pontiac, being lapped by the leaders as they come into the tri-oval area. About to complete lap number 90. We are almost halfway through this event. Now Bobby
Nice
Allison
putt.
is running in second
Thank
position,
you, sir.
Nice putt.
Allison running second, Earnhardt third, and Terry Labonte is fourth. But Harry
I'm about to go on a stretch of eagles.
from the back so we have seen
Tired of this shit.
that advantage that Labonte had over the fifth place Harry Gant diminish here in the past few laps in a battle.
Gonna do full power on all my shots.
Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison going at it door handle to door handle down the backstretch, and Bobby Allison wants the lead in the 88 Gatorade Buick. Bobby Allison leads at this point, and he has recovered well from those injuries suffered to the car in the pit area.
I mean, that's the first time we've seen Bobby Allison express himself.
Redrive Tony.
And I think a couple
Thank
of
you,
things
sir.
were on his mind, Bob, that first of all, he wanted to show everybody that the car aerodynamically is sound. You know, the other drivers are aware what happened with the bumper. They saw it during the caution flag, and Bobby's just saying, look, guys, you can run with me, everything is fine, and I can run just as quick with you.
That's
Something
in the
else that
garden
Bobby did
spot.
is the crowd begins to rise the occasion as two of the favorites, Earnhardt and Allison, are side by side. Allison was going through slow, and look at Harry Gant like out of a cannon from nowhere. Harry Gant.
And Kyle Petty also. That's the slingshot effect that you can get on the backstretch going into the turn. Gant and Petty both going around Allison and Earnhardt and moving into first and second position. A great move there by those two drivers in the backstretch. Harry Gant now the leader, and Kyle Petty is second.
Well, Bob, I think what happened there is that Allison and Earnhardt were so concerned with each other running side by side going down the backstretch. That slows you down in the drafting situation. You lose up to 10 miles an hour. And Gant and Kyle, they were aware of it. They hooked up in a freight train draft and went right by on
Good
the
ball.
inside.
Great drive,
That's
JB.
why the speeds of this race were expected to be higher than the qualifying speeds, because you can run faster in a drafting situation than you can all alone on the racetrack. Look at this nose-to-tail Grand National Racing from Talladega, Alabama. Harry Gant, Petty, and Dale Earnhardt showing the way here. Earnhardt moving to the high
You gonna
side.
do it?
Kyle Petty
Oh!
to the trioval.
Good
Bobby
bounce.
Allison is
Oh! Nice approach.
Wow.
Dog,
Nice
that
approach.
was almost your eagle.
and will be exactly halfway through this race.
Beautiful shot.
I'm gonna say this.
Running second position.
Great
Now
approach.
those two are side by side for turns 1 and 2.
Solid.
Bob, you know, if you watch Kyle Petty closely,
A nice
he's
approach.
not perfectly comfortable in the car. He's running quick. He's obviously got enough horses to stay with the lead draft. But every once in a while, you see a little more wiggling in Kyle's situation than the other front runners. And the last time that Benny Parsons went around Kyle, he too had been observing that. I saw him give him extra room. The Petty crew may be thinking right now, what are they going to do to make that
Oh my.
a little more
This must be an easy hole.
during the next period of
Oh, great
Great approach.
Watch that roll, couple.
Just a few laps ago, Richard Petty dropped out of competition. We are halfway through the Talladega Winston 500. Halfway, 94 laps complete. It is a three-car battle between Bobby Allison, Harry Gant, and Dale Earnhardt. We will be right back. And our sources tell us that the car driven by Mark Martin perhaps has a problem with the windshield. We will be
Not an easy hole for me.
Mark comes in
Bitches.
from the area, but we did have word that perhaps the windshield on the
Fucking
car-
again, dude.
At any
I'm about to
rate,
break my
the
fucking
lead
desk.
stays out, and this is how they're running. Benny Parsons, Bobby Allison,
Am I playing with the
Harry
default
Gant,
ball?
Petty. Here is Dale Earnhardt into the pit area.
Oh, it looks like a Titleist.
God damn, dude.
Are you tabbing in and out in between shots to watch this race?
Yes.
But now has chosen
Wow.
the opportunity to get back
That's
on the
dedication.
lead
You know, if you do picture-in-picture, I think it'll work with, it'll be over top of the golf, so you can put it somewhere that's out of the way.
Was 17.9 seconds, and he
What race is it?
getting out of the pit area.
Well, Bob, we were getting close to the
1982.
appropriate to pit, but Earnhardt did catch me a little by
Talladega.
surprise. He's in earlier than I expected.
Ah!
Let's see how it works for him.
Fucking
Keep in
accuser,
mind now,
the fucking
other
chipper.
leaders in the lead draft are about 3/4 of a lap ahead of Dale, but
Very
obviously
nice
they'll have to
shot.
come
I
in
don't have
second
the ability
also.
to minimize
Dale's counting
stretch
on
the
it. They
beam.
too have to pit
It's
under
either
the
full
green
or
flag.
nothing.
And the leader is
Can't-
Benny Parsons.
Can't turn on picture-in-picture?
Bobby Allison. Those two cars have moved out ahead of the third place car, Kyle Petty. So quite a distance between the second and third place car right now, with Parsons shown as the leader. And we have completed more than half of this race, and we settle back now to see what happens in the second half. The first half marked by 2 accidents, one involving David Central near the start of the race.
Great putt.
Okay. The other accident involved a couple of cars, Lenny Pond and Dave Marcus, also Ricky Rudd suffering some damage to that car. No driver injuries. It's been a tremendous race to this point, and this car and this driver have dominated the event so far. Benny.
Oh, Tony's the greatest golfer alive.
Tony,
who is running third in for service.
Thank
Kyle
you,
has had a
sir.
great day up to this point. The crew bolts the wall, headed by Mike Beam again, as they give complete service to Kyle. Kyle is now the remaining.
I think I know why I'm not playing good, because I still haven't peed.
Father Richard has dropped out of this race for
I think you're right.
very routine pit stop, and Kyle Petty.
Nice birdie.
Thank you.
Normally would have been 44. The first couple of races he drove as a professional driver in the ARCA circuit, he ran 44, continuing the tradition of Lee Petty, the grandfather, driving 42, Richard 43. Kyle would have been 44, but Terry Labonte already had the number by the time Kyle.
Zach, what is picture?
Picture-in-picture mode.
What's
Over
that?
the YouTube video, put your mouse over it, and there'll be a little thing in the bottom right corner that'll show up. Click it. It'll create another window with the video in it, and you can click and hold and drag it around the screen and resize it. Put your mouse over it and right-click on it.
That's what I did.
What browser are you on?
Google Chrome.
I use Firefox. You open up a Chrome window and see how it works.
Bob, they're also closing in on Dale Earnhardt. Now, this could be a significant moment in this race if these two drivers put a lap on Dale Earnhardt and then the caution flag comes out. Earnhardt could end up going a lap down. Now, Parsons and Allison, as they go by you, they're running quicker than Earnhardt because they're hooked up in a draft. There's Dale Earnhardt as he moves into the screen right now. He's got to have white knuckles, and the perspiration has got to be.
I have water.
He does not want to lose a lap to these two guys before they come in for the pit stop. But I'll tell you, they're gobbling them up, and here they come.
In third position is Darrell Waltrip as we watch
Oh,
Neil
you
Bonner
crushed it.
and Richmond out there on the racetrack, and those two, it looks
Oh, Sandy.
Into the pit. Damn, now I need a snack.
Just a little bit. 100 laps completed.
I don't have any of those.
Bobby Allison, Darrell Waltrip, Terry Lamar.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, can we pause the game so I can get some blueberry frosted mini wheat?
I think it would be best to take your turn first and then.
Not bad, dog.
Ninth position would be Bill Elliott.
What if he's further away from the hole than the rest of us, though?
Richmond on your screen with Morgan Shepherd. Now down
That
to
would
the
be
pit area. There's the
impossible.
windshield we were referring to earlier.
How'd you guys take a driver?
Batesville, Arkansas. Originally, that was the hometown of Mark Martin. He's been
What do you think, dog? I can't hit it that far.
the ASA circuit. He now has moved
Like, it's a 4-iron.
where he can remain active, of course, on the Grand National Stock Car Trail. The Apache
That's not gonna make it, man.
Oh, it definitely made it. Oh, I thought it was gonna make it. All you need is a 4-iron.
The crew is headed up by Mark's father, Julian, who has been with Mark the entirety of his career. They started out about 6 years ago on the dirt tracks back home in Arkansas. And it's really a difficult break.
Hey, keep in mind, dog, that you have not beaten me.
Some of the leaders now coming into the pits.
Including Darrell Waltrip, by the way.
Okay, so if you double-click the YouTube video, or if you right-click it and then right-click it again, it'll bring up the regular right-click menu, and it has an option for picture-in-picture on Chrome.
As the crew changes rubber on the right side of the car, fills it with fuel, and back out goes Darrell Waltrip in 14.9 seconds. 14.9. Isn't this rather unusual? Have you ever seen this being done?
Yeah,
That's not on your browser.
it is different.
I'm looking right at it on mine.
Really not all that uncommon for
That's
this
weird.
Dick Rubin's got a further report on the
I watch like
change down in the pits.
10 different NFL games at the same time. Mention you have to. Oh, there it is.
I got it, but it's still overrode by the golf.
Oh.
And here are the two
Really?
leaders in the pits. Benny Parsons at the top of your screen and Bobby Allison on the bottom. The crew's changing rubber. Benny Parsons is out, and so is Bobby Allison. So those two would just
Well,
about
you'll just
the
have to buy
same
another
greatest
computer.
time in the pit area.
Yeah, okay.
And they pull out with Bobby Allison having pitted further down pit road with the advantage, but both of those cars pulling out quickly. Harry Gant, meanwhile, also in. Terry Labonte moves out of the pit area. Harry Gant's crew is still working, and they have the hood up on that car.
Well, I think they might have been making
On the
a
dance
chassis
floor.
adjustment. We heard from Travis Carter earlier today. They felt that their advantage would be in the setup of the car, not in the engine compartment. They have been communicating throughout the last 40 or 50 laps about what would be the best setup, and I think that's probably what they conducted there during that pit stop, Bob.
All of this pit activity is being taken under the green flag. We have not had any yellows in the past few
I don't know why I
days. Look
chipped
at
that.
Donnie
That was pretty
Allison.
stupid.
And it looks like they're also having a problem with his windshield. They're going to replace Donnie Allison.
Well, keep in mind, we had a couple crashes earlier in this race, plus also remember that lead freight train was long for the first 100 miles of this race. And when you're running in
On the dance
the
floor.
quarters, there's a lot of debris, there's a lot of bits and pieces of rubber that fly up when you're in a big pack like that. And because so many of those cars were so close for so long, the windshields probably got battered with debris. Allison and Martin were two of those, running about 15th through 20th.
The windshields of Mark Barton and Donnie Allison are being changed. We're going to change gears here for just a minute and take this break and be right back. With 82 laps to go, Benny Parsons is the leader, Bobby Allison second, and Terry Labonte is third in the Winston 500. In the last few laps, we have seen two windshields change for the race cars. Let's get more on that from Dick Berggren.
Wow, that was such great timing.
Left of Donnie Allison's windshield, and we're looking at the driver's side of the windshield, as a matter of fact. Obviously, it would be extremely difficult to be able to see out of this. That's the reason both Mark Barton and Donnie Allison came in to change them. What would break a windshield like this? At 200 miles an hour, almost anything. A bird could do this to a windshield. An engine part kicked off from an engine that had blown earlier in the day. Possibly a rock kicked up out of the infield could do that kind of a damage to a windshield. Each of these windshields have 3 heavy steel bars behind them to prevent the whole windshield from coming in and collapsing on the driver. And in addition, these are safety plate glass windshields. So it's all done in the interest of safety. Nevertheless, imagine trying to drive at 200 miles an hour looking at a disaster like that.
Thank you, Dick. Good report. Let's pick
Really
up
nice
some action here at the racetrack.
Blueberry flavor.
Bobby Baker is leading this contingent, and also in that battle is Neil Bonnet. And to the inside, Donnie Allison. Here they come through the tri-oval. We'll be watching this race on the track. The
Come
white
on.
car
Oh
is Dale
my
Earnhardt, who has
God.
been dropping back several positions in the last few laps, Larry.
Which wasn't meant to be.
He's managed to stay on the lead lap with the leaders, showing the way Benny Parsons and Donnie Allison. But Earnhardt doesn't appear to be as quick as he was earlier in the day. Earnhardt running down in the 7th position at this point in the race. Remember, Buddy Baker lost several laps very early on, and he's been struggling to make those up, but has been unsuccessful in doing so. And you know, Bob, about a lap ago, I still see.
Holy
that
shit, dude, I would've-
Earnhart's car.
It would've got loud in here.
Himself, his personal racing line is using up higher and higher. Go! Trouble on the Buddy Baker coming together with, it appeared to be Donnie Allison. It was not Allison.
What?
It was another white car.
Sorry.
Just as we were on
Don-
Baker.
Larry
Fortunately,
Nuber went
he's getting
ham.
to the pit area. Now he'll try to nurse
What
the
happened?
car back to his pit.
Oh.
He started screaming and said,
Buddy
"Trouble!"
Baker in the Uno car.
Who the fuck is Larry Nuber?
The tri-oval.
Come on, dog. You should know that.
The job of driving not only by Buddy Baker,
Why?
who managed to do a complete
The Gary and Larry show.
going, but by Dale Earnhardt
Oh,
and
oh,
others
that
who were
Larry
right
Nuber.
there when Baker lost control. There is damage, you can see, to the front end of Dale Earnhardt's car. Buddy Baker did not make a stop in the pit area because we had.
You know what, Doug? I bet you don't know where Johnny Benson Jr. races at.
Baker's car came on into the pit area, so Baker stays out there, although there is damage
Pizarro
to
Park.
that car in the right front.
Well, Bob, there was a third car involved.
That's
That
in
was
the
a
garden
white car.
spot.
At first, I thought it might have been Donnie Allison, but it looks like perhaps Jimmy Means, I think, is the driver there right in front of Buddy. Jimmy moving up to the high lane, coming down through the tri-oval. Means and Buddy.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're doing that bullshit 17 games bullshit next season.
Behind is Dale Earnhardt, and Earnhardt does not have
That official now?
Stupid. Yeah.
to prevent from touching the left rear panel of
I don't like it.
race car.
I don't either, because now all the records are going to be fucking weird.
In front of him, pushes Buddy around, nowhere for Dale to go.
I mean, they used to only play like a 14-game schedule.
Good ball.
Wonder if there's going to be any extra bye weeks, or if they're going to cancel a preseason game.
I tell you, and also by Dale Earnhardt and by Neil Bonnet, who was right behind Earnhardt. It was a
Yeah, the Raiders, I'm looking at the Raiders schedule, they have 16 games.
A part off of the car has been spotted by our cameraman lying
Yeah.
in the grassy area of the racetrack. This has been a tremendous
That's in the garden
race,
spot.
and, a lot of things have
Normal.
happened here in the first two-thirds of it.
I've got a good idea. Make a golf course in the Daytona infield while the race is going on.
It is a good idea.
They're missing him.
The yellow flag would come out.
Ye-
There are the pieces flying off of Earnhardt.
Yeah, dog, I think it's still 16 for next year.
I thought it was supposed to be this season.
In turn number 1.
I mean, the Browns Twitter just shared their 2021 opponents, and there's only 16.
NFL plans to expand regular season to 17 games per team in 2021. That was 4 days ago.
Sorry, Brad.
I don't think anything's official, but I know they've talked about it. It sounds likely that they will.
Right up there in the high racing groove that he has been using most of the afternoon. And although there is damage to the front end of that car, Earnhardt stays on the button. Well, let's review our leaders at this point with 115 laps.
Or it's fucking dumb anyway.
Benny Parsons, the leader. Bobby Allison is second.
Ooh, nice approach.
Terry
Thank
Labonte
you,
running in
sir.
third position. Darrell Waltrip
They should just go to, like, I don't know, 25 games or something. 30 games. Just make it a year-round sport.
MLB 82. Whatever the hell they play.
162?
162.
I'm looking at NBA.
The NBA plays 82.
The NFL had a 162 game schedule. The practice squad would be like another team.
We're gonna use our backup team to face the Jets.
Think of the records that'll be broken now that everyone will say, well, that shouldn't be broken.
Alright.
Oh!
This game is fucking bullshit.
Doug, at least you're still on the fairway, I think.
Brad hit it too.
Hey, Doug, I hit it too.
And now Ricky Rudd is back out there in competition in the Piedmont Airlines Pontiac.
Meanwhile, of course, Buddy Baker and the Haas Ellington crew, they have been working feverishly.
Doug, I thought. Oh my god. Doug, I thought you said it was gonna get real loud in here.
Around this 2.66 mile racetrack at race speed, and
See, Doug, at least you're on the fairway.
Get the Uno car repaired so that Buddy can go back out on the speedway. Buddy Baker, as you saw on the screen a few moments ago, simply got caught behind slower traffic, and there wasn't enough room on the racetrack for him.
But it's not enough to keep Buddy Baker out of competition. He is back on the racetrack.
A few laps ago, when we passed the halfway point, a special award was given. They have gathered up
Great approach.
$1,000 to give to the guy who leads the halfway point of the race. And Bobby Allison, who has not led all that number of laps in this race, was the guy who was heading the pack at the halfway point. So
Surprised a tree didn't
$5,000. But the main man
come into play there or something. Pop out of nowhere.
not the 88.
Well, a sponsor is very important to any race car, and Piedmont Airlines has been involved in racing throughout the season, sponsoring the Ricky Rudd car. We understand that about 600 employees and people
What a
invited by
bounce.
Piedmont Airlines are
Great
watching this
average.
afternoon from Winston,
Thank you.
North Carolina. We thank you for your support of auto racing, and we are very glad that you are watching our live coverage of the Winston 500 on ESPN. Here is Dick Berggren with Haas Ellington.
Haas Ellington, you're the car owner for Buddy Baker, the Uno car. What happened just now?
Well, we've had bad luck all day. Our first time we got in there, we had a tire equalized. We took us 2 laps to find out what that was on that deal. Then we got hit in the face by another car, and that cost us another pit stop. And then fifth car, 52, run us in the wall. So it just ain't been our day. That's all I can say.
What kind of shape is the car in after all that?
Well, the front end's tore up, and the back end's tore up. So we might go try to stay out there and just see what we can do. Right now we got a caution, so maybe we get a chance to work on it some more.
That's Haas Ellington, Buddy Baker's car owner.
And we do have a caution on the racetrack, and we believe it's because of some debris down in the turn 1 area, right, Larry?
Well, Bob, I was watching Dale Earnhardt a couple of laps
Come on,
ago,
come on.
through the trioval, approaching number 1, and more pieces of metal from that damaged front end I saw exiting the race car and flying up in the air, and some shiny parts tumbling down the front stretch here. And going down toward the infield area, so I'm pretty sure that we've got debris on the racetrack near the entry to turn number 1, and this should bring everybody home for refreshments.
I think you're absolutely
Ooh,
right.
that was close.
Well, I see that first 2 cars at least coming in for service. Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison, also Darrell Waltrip and Ricky Rudd. There is Terry
Dog.
Labonte.
Tony Kornheiser says Doug Peterson should be fined $1 million.
Watch the pit stops for the leaders. Benny Parsons
Doug, you should be fired $1 million.
Bobby Allison on the bottom.
Well, it takes a full crew of people, obviously, to service these cars in a brief period of time. Waddell Wilson, the crew chief.
This is a
and
small
Jackman,
hole.
Slick Poston on the number 28 car. The car on the top of your screen does his job. He's already had the right side.
Is that what Logan said?
The left side's back up. An important man in all of this operation is certainly the guy who refills the gas tank, and that's Richard Bostick on the Harry Raniere team. As Benny Parsons pulls away, the J.D. Stacy name emblazoned boldly on the side. As Bobby Allison also pulls out, there's Terry Labonte. So apparently uneventful pit stops for all of our leaders, but then you never know. Sometimes the gas doesn't fill up. Sometimes the right tire has not been pulled off the rack. You just never know in racing.
Well, we mentioned sponsorships, and we salute J.D. Stacy.
Don't let it roll off, dude.
6 cars in this race here today. While the yellow is on,
Let me blow it back on the green.
Talladega with 120
That didn't work.
laps completed. We have 67 to go in the Winston 500. Waddell Wilson prepared the pole sitter car Benny Parsons for this particular race. Parsons qualified at over
No heartbeat.
miles an hour, 200.176 to be exact.
No sand, though.
Oh, dog, we're just getting it on the fucking green.
Perfect accuracy.
I like that little tiny patch of fairway right next to the green bunkers. Like off to the right from the tee box.
This is probably the best known secret. You know, it's better than the Coca-Cola syrup probably, because no one knows but Waddell, and he ain't telling.
And that is about as succinct as you can put it.
And be rest assured, many, including some of his former and current drivers, have asked, Waddell, how you do that? And to quote Benny Parsons, he ain't telling. Waddell not only has wrenched many cars that have qualified quick here, but he also has the 2 most recent winners in the Winston 500 in 1980. Buddy Baker came home first, and in 1981, Bobby Allison was first under the checker flag, and Benny Parsons hopes to continue that string here today, going for 3 in a row for Waddell Wilson as a crew chief.
Well, Benny Parsons right now running in 2nd position behind Bobby Allison. Behind Benny Parsons is the 3rd place car of Terry Labonte. Running 4th at this time is Kyle.
Not enough power.
Haven't talked much about Neil Bonnet today. He's just kind of settled
Sounded
back
like
and,
the Wilkins
not
coffee
too much,
guy.
but is right up there in 5th position.
But it's been like a
Can't you see any Wilkins coffee? No.
On a couple of occasions, we saw him touch bumpers with Tim Richmond earlier, where there are big tire marks on the side of the car.
Well, Darrell Waltrip has led most laps in 1982 Winston Cup races. 800.
Oh shit, dude, this is coming down to the wire.
638. Bobby Allison 200.
I'm in this Discord where we get
and Neil Bonnet 186.
Particularly impressive.
updates as soon as a graphics card comes out,
Normally, Neil Bonnet doesn't.
and then everybody flocks to it to try to buy it, and it's
for the short tracks.
time. Ooh, no.
And he has had an opportunity to run every race so
Remember
far.
to add a couple zeros.
Very warm day here, but a very pleasant.
Not enough,
9,000?
not enough power, Tony.
Airport located right behind
Not enough power.
Once again to Dick Berggren for this report.
80 power.
We all just heard Benny Parsons talking about how well you prepare this race car. What do you do to make this thing go so fast at Talladega?
Well, it's just all the guys that work for Raniere Racing, you know, just putting it all together and giving 100%. And, you know, we put a lot of extra hours in on this race car to come and perform like this. And, you know, the bad thing about it...
Come on, please putt one today.
When the car falls out, we feel bad, so we go
Not enough power.
double hard to
Not enough
come
power.
back and run strong and win the race.
What's your game plan from here?
Well, we're going to have to make one more stop, so is the rest of the cars, and hopefully we can run out front and be there at the end.
Do you think you're running fast enough that if you were running in a draft at the end, you'd be able to pass for the win?
Well, that's going to be hard to say. You know, it's going to depend on how the cars stack up, who's in front, and who's behind us, and who'll go with us or who won't.
Waddell Wilson, the man that makes Benny Parsons go so fast.
57,000
Are you serious?
in front of us right
Oh,
once again to watch the green flag come out.
Wow.
I aimed way to the right,
Down
too.
to the tri-oval into turn
Even in the
number
meter,
one
and it still
as
went
we
left.
resume racing in the Winston
It aimed way to the right.
23 laps have been completed. It's still anybody's race. There are the first 4 cars in the lead draft at this time. They are Bobby Allison, Benny Parsons, Terry Labonte, and Kyle Petty.
And Bob, for the first time, the first 7 or 8 cars, at least all of those cars that are still on the same lap with the leader, Benny Parsons.
Go ahead and take the lead.
Say a half a football field of each other. Now they're going to try and hook up and just stay with Benny Parsons. That's been something that's not been easy to do all day today. But for the first time in a long time, we've got a log jam near the top. You know, one of the guys who was hung right in there all day, we started to develop this story, is Neil Bonnet. Remember, that's a Ford that does very well in the draft. Neil Bonnet will be expected, or you can expect for him, to try and tuck in behind somebody else. Waddell Wilson was talking about who will go with us in the final lap. What he meant was that usually if there are pack of cars, anything larger than 3 that are going after victory in the final lap, very seldom is it that one driver and car can do it alone. Somebody has to hook up with you in a 2-car freight train draft, pick a lane on the racetrack, and go toward the front. These drivers can actually
edge of
each other
the fairway
while they're at racing speed. But of course, it's like a chess game. You never know if the guy is asking, he's just pulling your leg, or if he really wants you to go with it.
You can see that Terry Labonte has moved by Bobby Allison to go into second position. I can't remember recently a more thrilling finish.
Great drive. Great drives.
The Talladega 500, which, by the way, this year
Fairway.
will be run on
That is the
August
Allstate
1st here at
drive
the
of the day.
Speedway. The Talladega 500 this year on August 1st. Last year, Ron Bouchard's victory. Boy, what a tremendous race.
Well, I think what added to the drama was the fact that everyone was watching Bouchard. They knew he was strong, but it was only like his 11th or 12th race ever in a Grand National car, and nobody figured that he would
I thought I just heard a heartbeat.
and been able to think through that final lap to make the move. And I think that one
Maybe
of the
that's
reasons
your
why
own
it
heart.
was so dramatic,
That's
it
in
was
the
such a
garden
surprise.
spot.
Well, this is coming down to the
Are
wire.
there any real big surprises in this pack? Maybe Morgan Shepherd, the biggest surprise. The short
Tony, I've already conceded to you. I want to beat Daddy's ass at this point. Because he cannot beat me.
I can't beat you.
Will not beat me.
Tony missed a putt on the last hole.
Yes, dog. He missed it, dog. It was the...
Instead of taking a gimme, he wanted to sink it, and got sunk.
It was 2.5 with severe left.
Why didn't you take the gimme?
Oh, so it wasn't a gimme if it was 2.5 though.
Is Mark Martin in 10th, is Harry
Right?
Dan also
Oh, no.
in
Oh.
11th is Donnie Allison. Running in 12th position is Tim Richmond. 13th is Slick Johnson, and in 14th position would be Buddy Arrington.
Dude, Slick Johnson is in 13th, Brad.
Oh, R.I.P. Julius.
Down there, Dick Berger. Dick?
Well, there's a real competition going on today in the pit area, in that there are several teams
Julio
that are trying
Peppers.
to participate in a pit crew contest. The one that spends the least amount of time in the pits and yet finishes the race.
That graphics card's already out of stock.
That amount of money goes directly to the crews, so you can best
Sounds about
believe
right.
They're going to be highly motivated to do well here. Terry Labonte, J.C. Elder, the crew chief, has made 4 stops. They've been in for a total of 176 seconds. Benny Parsons, Waddell Wilson, crew chief, also 4 stops for 195.52. And Darrell Waltrip, chief by Junior Johnson, has been in for 4 stops at 184.20.
All right, Dick. And we go back to the racetrack to check on the progress of our first 3 cars. Benny Parsons, Terry Labonte, and Bobby.
Dude, I can't see where the fucking fairway is.
Is Kyle Petty. Great wheel-to-wheel and
Usually you just gotta aim right down the middle.
in the lead draft as we have completed 127 laps of the 188. We got 62 to go here in Talladega, Alabama. This is Bob Jenkins, Larry Newber, and Dick Bergman.
I don't like the positioning of that sand trap right there.
Right back.
Oh.
Good bounce.
Oh, nice approach.
Daylight time and 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Join us
Dog, nice green in regulation.
from Fort Worth.
That's not a green, dog.
Al Marciano and Al Bernstein will be there to cover a couple of fights for you. A 10-round junior lightweight battle and a 10-round bantamweight battle. And one of the fighters in that is Harold Petty from Fort Worth, Texas. So join us for Top Rank Boxing Thursday, May 13th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 Pacific Time here on ESPN.
You know, Top Rank Boxing on ESPN, Bob, has been one of our more interesting series. We've been able to follow the careers of a lot of young fighters who have gone unstarted.
Whoa,
Great ball.
Oh! Holy shit.
Wow.
What an approach, dude. You put that one right on the green.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, dude. We'll get him next time.
5th position belongs to Darrell Waltrip. Waltrip has not challenged in the last several laps, Larry. Is there
Watch me drop this in.
Yeah, I think it's a race plan. I think that
Okay, that ain't too bad. That ain't too bad. That ain't too bad.
In the last 2 years
Get there.
perhaps become the
Jesus, QR Christ.
racing. There have been many races that Waltrip has gone on to victory in that he really hasn't shown the way. He hasn't blazed the trail. He stayed right where he is right now, but come the final 2 laps, he's also wherever he wants to be then, also up front.
The editor of Stock Car Racing magazine is doing some television work today for ESPN. Here is Dick Bergeron in the pit area.
Well, the last time we were in this particular pit area, Harry Gant's pit area, the driver was leading and it was a very happy pit crew. Right now, this crew is down. Their engine has lost a cylinder. They're running on 7. They're hardly able to keep up.
Let's check on the cars who have dropped out of the competition here in the
Nice
Winston
job,
500.
Mr. Brad.
Nice approach.
Thank you. Of an accident also out.
Oh boy.
Cale Yarborough, Ron Bouchard, Jody Ridley, and Steve Moore. Also dropping by the wayside, Jeff Bodine, Dave Marcus, Lenny Pond, Richard Petty, Rick Wilson, Lake Speed, Bill Elliott, and Buddy Baker. So all of those cars are out of the race, but we still have several in the lead draft being led by Benny Parsons.
Bob, we've had over 30 lead changes in this race to this point with 130 laps approximately expired. At the top of the show, you remember we had hopes of perhaps seeing the fastest 500-mile race in auto racing history. Because of all the caution flags we've had, 31 laps of which to be exact, our chances for seeing the fastest 500-mile race in history are gone. When Lenny Pond set the track record back in 1978, there were only 17 laps of caution when Lenny came home at an average speed of almost 175 miles an hour. Put that into perspective. 500 miles, averaging 175 miles an hour, and he probably stopped 5 or 6 times en route to that. Our average speed up to this point at 130 laps gone by is 151. That's not too slow. I think that's quicker than I get back and forth to work.
We mentioned that Benny Parsons established a new 1-lap qualifying record here at 200.176. Bobby Isaac still holds the non-qualifying 1-lap record for this type of race car at 201.104.
Oh no. Man.
Devastating.
Has the all-time record at 221 miles an hour. Now the positions again change out on the racetrack as Bobby Allison goes back around Kyle Petty as Petty settles back to 4th position.
Well, Bob, the last time by the main stands here in the front stretch, you heard another row coming up from the crowd. You know, the arena here is so
come in.
large,
Come into your home. Yes!
Got it.
Great par.
The first time today, Kyle Petty actually made a move for the lead. And boy, did the crowd react to that. But what happened, Kyle dropped down out of the draft, the line of cars that was breaking the wind coming into their faces. Kyle dropped down. Nobody went with him. He got down there all by himself.
Thank you. Good luck to Tony on his par putt.
Like being drop kicked back toward the tail of the line of cars you were battling with. In
the long one.
Case, fortunately, he jerked the steering wheel to the right and got back.
Touch and go there for the first little bit.
Parsons moved back up front. Labonte there right in the center of your screen runs second. Bobby Allison runs in 3rd place, and right behind Bobby is Kyle, who was able to get back into that line of race cars.
There are 10 cars in the lead draft, but a couple of them are more than a lap down. Kyle Petty is 18th in the point standings for the 1982 Winston Cup with 811. His best finish on the tour so far has been a 14th at North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Here comes the lead draft down the tri-oval.
Well, Harry Gant, whose crew chief we heard from moments ago, is still out on the racetrack running.
He might be able to make it.
7 cylinders, and there is Harry running on the racetrack behind one of the real veterans of the NASCAR circuit, Buddy Arrington.
Probably
and the
not.
only way that Harry can even be at speeds that are safe out there when you're running
Lots
on
of uphill.
7 cylinders is the draft with somebody. So Harry is tucked in behind old friend Buddy Arrington, and Buddy is towing him around this racetrack. Obviously, that puts extra stress and strain on the Arrington machine, and the one thing that Gant has to be careful of, every once in a while he's got to move that car to the high side or the low side of Arrington to give it a little breath of fresh air, and also to keep the engine from overheating. But Harry Gant hooked up in a draft with Buddy Arrington and trying to finish this race.
And Harry Gant with the ESPN logo on the left front place where the lights would go on that car. We might remind you that our dedication to NASCAR Winston Cup racing will continue with 3 more live broadcasts They will be at Michigan, at Richmond, and at North Wilkesboro, and we are planning a 4th race for you. So we will have all of the action of the 1982 battle for the Winston Cup. Harry Gant continuing to battle with Buddy Arrington out there on the racetrack. As we have completed 137 laps, we have 51 to go. Benny Parsons continues to set the pace, followed closely by Terry Labonte and Bobby Allison. We'll be back in just a moment. Benny Parsons, Terry Labonte, and Bobby Allison are the first 3 positions here in the Winston 500. Now on the racetrack in the backstretch, we notice that Darrell Waltrip has moved around Bobby Allison, so Waltrip takes over 3rd position here. There is quite a separation between the 2nd and 3rd place cars as Terry Labonte has moved ahead of this duo, Bobby Allison and Darrell Waltrip. And look at Allison move to the inside of Waltrip in turn number 3 and go back into 3rd position.
Oh! Soft drink industry well represented. You see the right front fender on Bobby Allison's car.
I'll survive.
Deep garden there.
In the race, the soft drink industry well represented, but it's nothing soft about racing out here.
There is considerable amount of damage there to the front of Bobby Allison's car, with part of it flapping in the breeze, but obviously not causing any problem with the handling of that race car for Bobby Allison. The Gatorade machine is running in 3rd position at this time. The Hueytown, Alabama, of course, the home of Bobby Allison. He is 44 years of age and won the first race on the Winston Cup Tour for this year at Daytona International Speedway. Darrell Waltrip won't have any portion of that, and he moves around Bobby Allison and back into 3rd position. So this great race out there for 3rd between Waltrip and Allison continues. Both of them have moved.
Holy shit, Jack, have you seen that stuff crust at Papa John's?
Yeah, dog.
Thick as hell.
Yeah, apparently, I saw the commercial and Tim ended up ordering it like that night for dinner. He said it was good.
Watching the report of the week right now.
Of course, you start watching also those pins that hold on to the hood of this race
Shaquille
car,
O'Neal knows what he's doing.
Battling, surprisingly, Waltrip and Allison have caught the 2 leaders, Parsons and Labonte, and Waltrip looks like he's even thinking about trying to move to the lead. Now, as close as Labonte and Parsons are, I would expect Waltrip to go to the lead, but no, not quite enough. Terry Labonte lifts just ever so slightly and leads the line as well as Bobby Allison. No, Labonte
in the deep rough.
You running in front of me, Bobby. I'm going to hold that position and try and tack on to Waltrip.
Well, we talked about Darrell Waltrip not really running toward the front the last few laps, but he has decided to do so. Now right back in underneath almost the Benny Parsons car as they move by us down.
Applause.
Thank fucking Christ.
That was risky.
Back in the game.
Is the number 75, Joe Ruttman, and he has been in this lead draft most of the afternoon. Unfortunately, had problems at the beginning of the race and is not on the lap of the leaders.
Well, you know, there'll be one more series
right at the bottom of that flag stick.
If all things go according to plan. So it really isn't necessary to lead at this point, and it's also pretty unlikely, as close as the lead pack has been all day, that anybody is going to hook up and run away with them. So there is, perhaps, to use a word or term that came up earlier in the race today, a little cat and mouse going on, but Waltrip has moved to the front for the first time in a long time, and I think that the one combination that the rest of the teams would fear when we get down to less than 20 laps to go, which will be coming up in just a few minutes, would be Benny Parsons and Darrell Waltrip hooking up in a draft and pulling away from the rest of the leaders.
Oh.
Has dropped back several positions. He is now back.
Keep it on the dance floor.
How is that even possible?
Has gone into 4th position.
I did 12 yards on a 16. I did 12 yards on a 12-yard. Why did it go 40 yards?
Because he isn't on very fast greens, which is basically championship.
Dog, very fast is 10, championship is 13. That's not close.
Basically 13.
Not the green's fault, dog. It is the Sims' fault.
But not on the lead lap, and Neil Bonnet right behind Ruttman, and Kyle Petty right behind Neil Bonnet.
Because all of us have definitely had the same thing happen.
NASCAR racing has been interesting.
Very nice shot.
Oh, nice chip in though.
Who are hungry for victory.
We'll have more of the Winston 500 from the world's fastest speedway in a moment. Bob Jenkins, Larry Newber, and Dick Berggren covering the Winston 500 from Talladega, Alabama for you. Benny Parsons is the leader, Terry Labonte second, and Darrell Waltrip is running third with 43 laps to go. We mentioned a few minutes ago some of the drivers who have won more than one race here at Talladega. The drivers who have won one: Richard Petty, Dave Marquez, Mike Brooks,
That was a huge putt to make.
Neil Bonnet, and Ron Bouchard.
I know!
The winner here at Talladega, Richard Brickhouse, who won the very
JB's gonna pass us both on the last hole again.
When they first built this racetrack, some of the drivers complained that the track was too big to have anything but an absolutely smooth surface. Some of them said the surface was not smooth enough to race on at those speeds. But some of the
oh man,
that was critical.
I'm
sorry.
Raced here, and Richard Brickhouse was able to ink his name
Wow.
into the record books. But since that time, I'll tell you, everybody wants to come to Talladega. Daytona, Darlington, and Talladega have certainly become the big three tracks on the Grand National Circuit as far as the high speeds go, and it seems to be those are the races that bring out all the teams, and everybody would like to do well here.
Benny Parsons and the Stacy Pontiac leading the number 11 Mountain Dew Buick in turn number 3.
All right,
We
this is
now
for all
await
the marbles.
Possibility of more pit stops, and Dick
For
Berggren
the
has
marbles.
won that.
Good luck, Mr. Brad. And JB's hole in one.
There's no yellow flag before about lap 156 or 157, but they're going to bring Benny in for the last time. It's going to be interesting to watch this last stop to see what the various teams do. Some will choose to throw 4 tires at the car and hope the car will handle better for the end of the race. Some will not do that, hoping that the lesser amount of time spent in the pits is going to be to their advantage when it all gets to the end. Some crews are going to try to get more fuel in, some are going to try to put less in, but no matter how it's cut, this is definitely the most important stop of the day.
So we'll be awaiting that stop in about 10 laps because we're on lap 148 now, and indications are that it'll be around 157 or
That's in the
158
garden
laps
spot.
before Benny Parsons moves into the pit area.
Fairway.
And both of our leaders
This hole
now
looks
are
tough.
lapping Dale Earnhardt, who has had a very unfortunate afternoon in several respects. Earnhardt, with damage to the front of that car, is several laps down and off of the pace. So Benny Parsons, Darrell Waltrip, and Terry Labonte are the first 3 positions here in the Winston 500.
That better not be rough.
39 laps to go.
Things have settled down
you're
sort of the dog days of a 500-mile race, if you will. There you see Benny Parsons going around the number 64 car of Tommy Gale. Tommy, one of those independents running in the Elmo Langley stable. Elmo, a former race car driver himself, and he's one of those people who, you know, if it wasn't for the independents, NASCAR racing would not be what it is today. You see the lead pack filing by on the outside. Tommy Gale, somebody that all the other drivers have absolutely no trepidations about running close to at these high speeds. That's a team and a driver that shows up for every one of the races and just stays in there and kind of toughs it out. And despite the fact they know their chances of running up front are really all not that great, they still support the sport.
And a black flag has been given to Dale Earnhardt, and he has moved into the pit area. He has won over $125,000 so far in 1982. But he has been black flagged because of that damage apparently to the front of the car. The NASCAR officials feeling that the hood on that car was about to come off. So the crew, as you can see, working on it right now.
Now, Earnhardt is the son of a famous racing
Nice tee
driver
shot.
in the past.
Thank
His
you.
father,
That was not a
Ralph,
tee
was
shot.
Just an outstanding dirt tracker and ran
Looked like
for
it with the
many
amount of
years.
distance it had.
Many of the early years of NASCAR as an organization, but right now, son Dale is having his problems here at Talladega in early 1982.
Well, look who's leading the Winston 500. By golly, Darrell Waltrip has passed Benny Parsons, and Darrell Waltrip now the leader with Benny Parsons running second. Terry Labonte still running in third position. A race summary to this point with 148 laps completed. We have had 13 leaders and
There was no good shot you could possibly make there.
How's that for racing? And 6 caution periods, nothing for anything very serious. So we will be back in just a moment with more coverage of the Winston 500 from Talladega, Alabama. Back at Talladega, where the leaders are beginning to come in for pit stops now. Here is Kyle Petty, who was running in 6th position.
Good shot, JB.
We'll see how
Good shot, though.
so
much.
Back out there, Richard Petty dropped out of competition several laps ago because apparently of a fuel pickup problem. Kyle, though, running strong here this afternoon in the top 10. Neil Bonnet, who was running in 4th position, also has been in for a pit stop.
Bob, they're having a little bit of trouble with the right front wheel in this car. They're having problems getting the wheel on. Now, when we had the shop on the side, you can pick up on it. The crew really wrestled with that right front wheel. Hopefully all the lugs got on properly.
28.9-second pit stop for Kyle Petty. Not that really impressive, but he is going back out onto the racetrack as the leader.
That's looking great.
No. Back off the dance floor. Gonna be doing, I don't know.
For the win.
Oh, I thought that was Tony. Oh, I'm sorry, Doug.
I'm glad you have the same sympathy.
Benny Parsons and Darrell Waltrip, Bobby Allison, and Terry Labonte.
I was synthetic.
3 to 4 laps of pitting of all the lead cars.
Now let's see. Benny Parsons has moved back into the lead.
Ooh, look at this! Look at this pitch out! Look at this pitch out!
Wow.
Great approach.
Oh, nice pitch. Good Jim.
That was a flop, sir.
Across the start-finish line to complete lap number 155, and these leaders will be coming in very shortly for their final pit stop of the afternoon, and that is when the race can be won or lost.
It will be very critical, this final set of pit stops, particularly if we go as we have for about the last 150 miles, and that is without caution flag. Needless to say, if there's a caution flag in this last racing period of the race here, we got about 30 laps. Everybody up. There's Benny Parsons dropping down low on the racetrack, Bob.
Wow. Good to have that one.
Oh, Doug, Tony Baku finally accepted my follow request. Oh, thank God.
Oh, he's gonna announce the Chili Bowl.
Great.
Also in is Bobby Allison in the Gatorade car. Allison at the bottom of your screen and Parsons at the top. We'll see again how it goes. Here is Dick Bergeron.
Well, Wilson now with a rag cleaning the windshield. Here comes the crew. They're going to haul him out of here with 2 outside tires. They did not change the inside tires on Benny Parsons' car. They did get the load of fuel in it, however.
Allison has a problem. Bobby Allison has a problem with that car. He is still not out of the pit area, and his crew is
Good win, Tony.
It's not over yet.
Good win, Tony.
He struggled from within 5 feet. Good thing he's at 5.2.
You'd have to struggle a lot. He could 2-putt this and win.
Back behind the wall, perhaps to the truck on an air, and Darrell Waltrip, meanwhile, is in no problem yet there. You see the right side rubber being changed by the Junior Johnson Mountain.
Solid putt.
The right front looks to be just about done. The right
Green.
I really needed that point, too.
Great power.
Victory.
No inside rubber for Waltrip, and Terry Labonte out drag strips Waltrip.
Well, Bobby Allison's car is jacked up on the right side very high. They're looking underneath it on the right side. Any speculation?
No, they appear to be looking near the differential, perhaps along the transmission or drive shaft line. Now a crew is crawling.
Great putt, JB.
Great pair.
I saw Gary Nelson look under real quickly when Bobby had to make that sudden stop as he was pulling away. I had the feeling that Gary knew what it was. I also had the feeling that Gary thought it was over.
Nice victory, Mr. Piazza.
Good win, Piazza.
Stayed away from the trees for once.
Coming out of the pit area, and now he has a problem that we're really not certain of, but it has kept him into the pit area for several minutes. So the green flag is still out. We'll take this break and be right back. Labonte now the leader, and Darrell Waltrip running in 2nd place. Back at Talladega, Alabama, where ESPN is covering live for you the Winston 500. There will be another race here later in the year, the Talladega 500 on the 1st of August. Let's go down to Dick Bergeron for a further explanation of what's wrong with Bobby Allison.
What's wrong with Bobby Allison is that the drive shaft in that car broke. Not only did it break, it is severely bent. There is no way they could have run with that drive shaft the way it was. They're in the process now of putting another one underneath the car. 2 members of the crew, 3 members of the crew under the car working frantically trying to get Bobby Allison back out. But this is a very long stop, and it will certainly put Bobby out of contention.
The leaders have completed their
It's amazing how much the cars like slid sideways through the tri-oval.
It had to have been frightening.
And Bob,
Yes.
there are no cautions for the rest of this race. There it is. There's the final lap. Running in fourth.
Wow, this microphone sounds way better. I just heard myself in your stream.
You sound better than you did 6 months ago.
Better than 6 weeks ago, when all we heard was.
Johnny Allison happens to be in a draft right now with Kyle and Neil, but
Got pretty ugly there for a little bit.
Still on the same lap with the leaders running.
Which Parsons is that?
But right there are the three
Benny.
main men.
I was just making sure. This is 82, right?
Yes.
And their wheels inside their minds begin to click and begin to roll, and the strategy begins to unfold. They're watching each other
It's
very
Jeff Burton.
carefully. Parsons is trying to find out where
What?
this racetrack is. Waltrip have the most power. Where does the
Ooh,
car
28 laps to go.
Right now, Labonte is getting an eyeful of both of them. Terry is thinking, geez, these guys are tough. Do I have enough to do it today?
Well, Terry Labonte would like very much to have a win on the Winston Cup Tour this year. He has finished 20th at Martinsville, but other than that, his worst finish has been 8th position, and he is the leader in the 82 battle for the Winston Cup. So Terry Labonte was running in 3rd place right now, would very much like to walk off with the victory here at Talladega. This is Kyle Petty, also Tim Richmond, and the car behind Richmond.
Yeah, well, Kyle has been battling with Neil, and right now Tim Richmond has been able to sandwich himself between Kyle and Neil Bonnet. Neil's had a rough day. We commented about that earlier, and that car looks to be a little more weather-worn than it was the last time we talked about it. He just has not had enough.
Is that Kyle Petty?
To run up
Yes,
front,
he is in the
Cal,
4th
rather,
position.
Neil has hung
Wow.
right there.
Career
Talk
day
about
for
going
Kyle
back in
Petty.
time a few years, putting Cale Yarborough in the
He probably
woods
blew
right
up with like 10 to go.
Benny Parsons has moved back around Darrell Waltrip, so Parsons is now leading the race. Waltrip second and Labonte is third as those two cars go around Jimmy Means riding the Broadway Motors Buick. Jimmy has been competitive all afternoon, but not in the lead situation.
Well, Jimmy is another one of those independents who comes for every race and just loves to go stock car racing, and he's one of those guys who hangs in there and really hopes with all of his faculties each week that maybe he can sneak into the top 10. Jimmy Means, a former Nashville track champion and a guy who's been around the Grand National Trail for, gosh, going on about 10 years now.
Now a little bit of distance being opened up between the 2nd and 3rd place cars of Darrell Waltrip and Terry Labonte. But Labonte, as the cars go into the 3rd and 4th turns, is able to close up the distance just a little bit. Here they come off of turn number 4 onto the tri-oval area of the speedway. And the 3-car draft continues here. Again, these 3 cars apparently are going to be in the contention for the lead when the checkered flag drops, as there is about a half a lap separation between the 3rd and 4th place cars. Here in the tri-oval, we notice a car smoking very badly.
I think it's Joe Ruttman, Bob.
That is Joe Ruttman, who has had problems all afternoon, and now a billow of smoke coming from the rear of that race car as he slows down going into turn number 1.
It'll be interesting to see as we look at Joe's winnings to date, $75,000. Most of them, of course, in the J.D. Stacy team when he was.
Oh, Joe!
Up front. Interesting to see whether or not we get a caution.
Is that the Raymock car?
Indication from Harold Kinder that the caution flag
I believe
is going to come
so.
out. I see him straining his own eyes right now, seeing whether or not there is debris on this racetrack.
I'm used to it being
Apparently,
Valvoline.
all the officials are satisfied.
Success.
We remain under a green flag condition.
In fairness, that team was better when it had Valvoline. But then again, if you have a sponsor compared to no sponsor, then you would do better.
Now is when they have to turn it loose. Those anybody's might be Kyle Petty, might be Neil Bonnet, might be Morgan Shepherd.
Let's check the stats.
As Bob pointed out to you a minute ago, it's probably going to come down to the 3 of them.
Here, did he get Valvoline sponsorship?
You're looking at the Raymock Enterprise car. Joe Ruttman was not always on the team.
All right, the concern of NASCAR officials, of
What?
course, is there oil on the racetrack that is a hindrance?
I was asking when Mark Martin got the Valvoline sponsorship.
Oh, Mark? We're not talking about Mark Martin.
92 or 91?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Raymock Enterprise.
Who drove that car?
A lot of people.
Lake Speed, Neil Bonnet, Joe Ruttman.
Mark Martin might be a better example. So 1993.
driver that was running in fifth position.
He was doing just fine before Valvoline showed up.
Okay, Kevin.
No, Kevin's opinion was he was like trash until Valvoline showed up. But I mean, he finished third, second, sixth, and sixth in the points. 1990, he probably should have won the championship, and that was with Folgers. If anything, when Valvoline showed up, it was just a continuation of the success he already had.
I'll say that he led a few more laps with Valvoline sponsorship, but if the other sponsors stayed, I'm sure it would have been the same thing.
I mean, we're also talking about he was going into the prime of his career anyway. Mid 90s, like his peak.
I'm sure his peak was probably right when he started. It's just Roush Racing was at its peak.
Yeah, because when Roush like went crazy good in like 2002, 3, and 4, his stats kind of fell off a little bit. Then he retired, and then he came back.
He finished 18th in points, and then finished second.
And then 17th, and then 4th 2 years in a row.
Make up your mind, Mark. I'm going to retire. Oh, wait, I'm good again! Alright.
We have 21 laps to go, and it should be a tremendous dash to the finish.
I find it funny that Rusty Wallace says he regrets retiring. Like, dude, you retired at the perfect time.
He really did. He won like 10 races in his last 10 years.
He should have won like 30 races in his last 10 years.
Second place, 22,100. Third place,
because he led a ton of laps in 2000 and 2001, but only won 5 races.
Well, he led 1,104 laps in 2001 and had 1 win.
That's brutal.
What happened? They all come at Martinsville or something?
Yeah. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
He led 276 at Richmond and didn't win. Led 276 at Richmond again in the fall and still didn't win. 117 at Kansas didn't win. 123 at Bristol didn't win. That's...
and Yarborough fifth with $116,000.
Oh. I feel like laps led is kind of like a goofy stat because some races are 500 laps and other races are like 90 laps or something.
It's like Jeff Gordon in '98. He only led like 1,300 laps, which for him was pretty low, but he didn't lead a lot at the short tracks, and he dominated the road courses.
Where they run the fewest laps, typically.
Right.
You know that Rusty Wallace led 409 laps at Bristol in 1993 and finished second?
That's very possible. Why are they 4 wide? Dude, it's the lap cars on the middle, the super lap cars in the bottom, and lead lap cars on the top.
I like how there's only like 20 cars out there.
Kyle Petty's gonna win this thing.
Darrell Waltrip, Kyle Petty, Benny Parsons, Terry Labonte are the first 4 cars. Morgan Shepherd is running 5th.
Nonsense, that ride is trash.
What was the fewest laps led that Rusty Wallace had in a victory?
I'm going to guess 1.
No.
10.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, do you want to guess the track and year?
I'm gonna guess Riverside.
No.
Watkins Glen.
No.
He never won at Sonoma.
They did.
He did. Sonoma.
No.
What year?
96. 96.
Oh, I was thinking like 27 car.
Oh. No, that was Ricky Rudd.
Are we counting Japan?
No. These are points paying races.
Winston.
No. Not a points race.
Don't tell me, because I might guess this.
Guess a year or two. Or you can take that as
Oh,
a
what's
hint.
Benny doing? No!
Oh,
What?
It's probably only 6 cars on the lead lap.
Stacy.
No, they misspelled Benny.
JD Benny? Like JD Byrider?
I'm trying to think of the races that I've seen him win. So at Phoenix in '98, he led more than 10.
I was a bit surprised last caution period that Benny did not come in, and now here he is. I can't understand why he didn't come in last
California 2001, he led more than 10.
He led 95 laps in that race. Yes, that is more than 10.
His 04 Martinsville win, I'm sure he led more than 10.
Yes.
Let's think of his 4 wins in 2001.
His Riverside victory in 1987, he led 11 laps.
So I was on the right track with that one.
Well, no, it wasn't at Riverside. That's a different track.
Darrell Waltrip is in the lead, but where does he want to be on the last lap to win this race? Well, Larry Newber asked
What track was it at? You just said it was Riverside.
No, it's not.
Well, that's a good question, you know.
The 87 win?
Yeah, that one was where he led 11 laps.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, but this win where he led 10 laps was somewhere else in a different year.
Was it in... Well, that's a stupid question because we already got rid of it. Yes, it's at an oval.
Correct. Yes, the track is round. Rounded at the edges.
What if there's traffic, or what if he cuts you off and takes away your options? So 90% of the time,
he's never won at Talladega or
Daytona.
Daytona. Points
I'm going to take my
race.
chance. He's got to second guess me. He's got to figure out if I'm going to go high, go low. And I can look at him in the mirror and see what he's thinking about doing too.
Was it before '98?
That last lap if it all
Yes.
All right. Well, then I will just guess.
JD Stacy would like very much to bring home a winner this afternoon.
Bristol '93.
No.
Mr. Stacy, you also got Benny Parsons. He just made a pit stop. He's going to have
Bristol
to back through.
'92.
Right now about the potential for
No.
Benny Parsons or Teller
Bristol '94.
No.
Bristol.
No.
I guess a bigger track.
Well, certainly Benny Parsons has demonstrated his ability to run faster than anybody else today and during qualifying.
He almost won it in 2002.
Yes, he led 12 laps in that contest.
Damn it, Bill. Nobody wanted you to win.
Bill Elliott. His career resurgence.
Has he been out snookered? Has he been out driven by another driver? Has he not had enough
More
horses?
like,
Whatever.
I finally have good
He
equipment.
hasn't won down there yet. Terry Labonte has said he'd like to be in second place.
I feel kind of bad for Bill, to some extent,
You had kind of a tough day out here this afternoon.
but I don't because he chose to be a car owner. Hey, it's Neil!
It felt like it broke a rod or something. The motor just exploded going in the first turn down there. So looks like it's going to be a good trophy race to the end, though.
Seems like a lot of
That Caravan Haze.
It looks kind of
Well,
like
it's a pretty torrid pace. They're standing on those things wide open, putting a lot of punishment on the engines, and it's showing up.
Neil Bonnet, one of those fellows whose engine couldn't take the punishment today.
All right, thank you, Dick. And
Pocono.
green flag
No.
time around. They have the familiar
Let me just guess the track.
restart here. Darrell
Michigan?
Waltrip is in the lead.
Yes.
Exactly where he said he wanted to be, but
1990.
it depends on who you're running with on the track.
And there are the 5
1993.
Close? No.
94.
No.
Hey, this is an SRX race.
1990-10.
How is it not 93 or 94? Those were his most dominant years.
I don't know.
89.
And anticipating the green flag, and the green does
No.
come out, and so we go
No.
back to
No,
racing.
it's wrong.
88.
No.
Kyle Petty is tucked right in on his back bumper. They
96.
Yes.
Okay, that's the only year he won 4 races or more.
Terry Labonte right in underneath Kyle Petty. They go around Bobby Allison and Tim Richmond. Allison has suffered.
Oh, we just answered the question, didn't we?
There's nothing left to guess. Do you want to guess the sponsor?
Was it the spring race?
Yes.
Miller Genuine Draft.
According to Racing Reference, it was just Miller, but probably, yeah. Do I guess how much money he made?
Still trying to get up front, still trying to pick up another lap. He's in the top 10, but Richmond is going all out.
214,000.
Although it looks like Benny
Hell no. Not anywhere close to that.
Less than that?
That's much less.
80,000.
But he,
Close.
but he have a great ass.
High.
60,000.
More.
75,000.
Less.
65,000.
More.
72,000.
Less.
68,000.
More.
70,000.
More.
71,500.
Less.
70,500.
More.
71,000.
Close enough, yeah.
No,
sure.
it's not. Let me get it.
No, oh my god, more.
No, never mind.
72,364 less. 71,363 less. 6 hours later. $1.
That's what I would do if the price is right.
Everybody else is like 2,140, 2,242, $1. Give me $2. $1 is just stupid bid.
It's a good bid if everyone else is so high.
Yes, it is closest without going over. Should be closest without being under.
Should just be the closest.
Yeah, but that's no fun.
Drew Carey will make it fun.
Like beads on a string. Remember the 5th car in line, Richmond, the dark blue number 2 with the yellow chevrons, the lap down.
What race did Rusty Wallace make the most money in?
That's a grand question.
Coca-Cola 600.
No.
The
Daytona 500.
One of them. Yeah.
What do you mean one of them?
Well, like all of his top paying races are Daytona or Indianapolis.
But we're guessing the top, right?
Yeah.
Definitely the 02 Indy race.
Nope. That's about 40% of the top paying race.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Well, that race he made $307,000.
Did he win this race?
The highest paying race? No, he did not win. He actually didn't win like his top 10 highest paid races.
How is it not the Brickyard, finishing second?
Because this race paid more than the Brickyard.
Oh, Daytona.
Yeah.
What year did he finish?
He finished 4th in Indianapolis in 2001 and made $235,000, but he finished 29th at Daytona in 2004 and made $245,000.
I'm gonna guess the 2001 500.
Correct. He finished 3rd and made $676,000.
He finished 3rd. Oh my God!
Whoa! Gotta get that side draft.
He finished 3rd with a. He had no front right. What do they call it? Valence.
Who's that? Ricky Rudd?
That was Morgan Shepherd.
Greg Sachs? Who's in the 88?
Bobby Allison.
Oh. Who's in the 98?
Morgan Shepherd.
Oh. I think that is Joe Ruttman.
Richard Petty is Joe Ruttman.
To watch his son's performance, and Richard, I'm sure, hoping for a win by his son.
In case anyone was wondering, the lowest amount of money Rusty Wallace made in a race was at Atlanta in 1982. Finished 35th, which earned him $1,355.
That's enough for his ticket back to Missouri.
That's one thing that's unfortunate is they don't show how much money drivers made in races anymore.
Waltrip and Parsons have opened up some ground.
I wonder how much he actually made. Like when he was driving for Roger Penske, I'm sure most of the money did not go to him.
Well, I'm sure a lot of it did, and I'm sure he had a base pay too.
Yeah. It was probably just the base pay and nothing else. This is your salary. Yay. But I won $5 million. You'll take $50.
Well, according to Forbes, Kyle Busch is the highest paid NASCAR driver, and his salary and winnings from 2019 equaled $16.1 million.
Terry Labonte and Kyle Petty are the drivers that can win this race.
I can see that.
Major League Automobile race,
wasn't Junior making 100,000 or 100 million a year? Something crazy.
Talked about it on his podcast, but didn't actually say the amount. In 2016, Dale Jr. made $23.5 million in earnings, 15 of that in salary and winnings.
That doesn't include the commercials.
Oh, that does. That's why he made 23.5 total, and 15 was the salary and winnings. So 8.5 was from commercials.
That's all estimates. We don't really know.
The Stacy Pontiac of Benny Parsons leading the Mountain Dew Buick of Darrell Waltrip. In third position is
Go Buick.
I think Benny's gonna get this, man. Let's go, Benny!
I'd be honored to see Benny win this race.
I'd be honored to see Kyle Petty pull this off somehow and rechange history.
Apparently, when Junior signed with Hendrick in 2008, his earnings were just a little bit over $30 million annually.
And we will have 2 more laps to go, and this is what it's all gonna happen.
His total earnings are estimated at about $400 million.
Oh, Benny's getting arrow loose in the tri-oval.
2 laps to go.
He's taking the air off his trunk.
Will Darrell make his move now?
To give them the signal. At this point, if I were Labonte, I think my move would be to stay right behind Waltrip to see.
Come on, Benny, let him go.
Darrell's going to try some type of move on this last lap. Remember, everybody has radios. They know exactly where they are. Let's see how they play it. Waltrip's going to try something.
Who's in the 44?
Terry.
Oh, that's another Stacy car. Are these all Stacy cars?
I think 2 of the 4 are Stacy cars.
How many total were there? Like 8? Because wasn't the 2 a Stacy car?
Yes. Benny, why are you on the low line? What are you doing?
Is he the leader or is he a lap down?
He's the leader.
He's leading.
Oh shit. Go!
What are you doing?
Go up!
Maybe that was a good strategy.
He just pulled over and let him go.
Oh, what are you doing?
He's letting
Side
him have
draft. Side draft.
I don't.
Oh.
Just the nature of the draft back then.
Get in line. Oh, nope, he's just going to slow down Terry.
Good job, Darrell.
Look at Kyle trying to get third. His first ever top 5.
That was kind of lame.
It might have been.
And Kyle Petty was 4th.
Well, Bob, Benny Parsons made, I guess, the ultimate chance. He decided to do something unusual on the final lap. He felt he was not in the right position. We saw Benny drop way down low coming out of turn number 2.
I think the best thing to do if you're in that situation, you ride the high line, then you let him go low, and then try the crossover in 3 if you can. But usually the 3rd place guy gets under you too.
I think the way to go would just be to wreck everybody.
Including yourself?
The draft was going by on the high side of it.
Oh.
He had no accelerator left.
You might die.
Waltrip has won his 4th race in the 1982 season. He was the winner this year at Bristol, at Atlanta. He also won North Wilkesboro, and he has moved into victory lane, or is about to right now here in Talladega,
It's nice to see him be competitive.
Darrell Waltrip has won in the
all I've seen in 98, 99, and 2000
was victory here this afternoon. I cannot conceive of driving 500 miles on this highly banked track at 200 miles an hour, but Darrell Waltrip has done it better than anybody else today. He is in.
Damn, he went right for the 2-liter.
Hey, it's Bill Broderick.
Darrell Waltrip is getting a big kiss from his wife, Stevie. We'll get to him in just a minute. He's a busy man right now. They are awfully happy. Darrell, congratulations on yet another Winston Cup victory.
Oh, me.
This is 1982, and Darrell looks the same as he would for like the next 30 years.
Racing like this is going to make old man out of me for it's my time, but I would like to thank the good Lord because he rode with me all day and brought me.
Oh, he's religious now.
I'm so proud of this Mountain Dew Buick. I'd like to thank Goodyear Tires because I'm going to tell you one thing. The tires took a punishment today, and they stood up and they took it, and so did our Valvoline oil. So just want to say hi to all those folks.
Oh, look at that. He's got a Valvoline sponsorship.
There must be something to
I
that.
was a little surprised that Benny passed me when he did. I think Benny really felt like he had maybe a little faster car than we had, but I knew with that number of cars, 3 or 4 of us, if I was in second place, I thought that might be the right place to be. I just luck. You know, you do it over, you probably lose. So that's why you have to be so thankful when you end up in Victory Circle here at Talladega with a 4 or 5 car finish like that, because anybody could have won that race. My hat's off to Benny and Waddell. They did a super job, and so did Terry Labonte. It's going to be a heck of a year for him, and we look like we got our hands full as far as that Winston Cup Championship is concerned.
How tired are you?
Well, now, at this point in time, I'm not as tired as I was. Hey, Junior.
Junior Johnson, the man that put it all together. Junior, the last pit stop you came in, you took 4 tires. And
Hey, it's Jimmy Johnson.
Was that the strategy you really wanted to do all along?
Well, that'd been the best set of tires we'd had all day long, so we just
A hat that looks like somebody broke it in half.
It was going to be the last set we was going to put on, so we put everything we had on it and just hope it was good enough.
Oh, look at him lean down to talking to that microphone. Does he know he doesn't have to do that?
As close as them was, you got to worry about anybody. And, you know, we felt like we was in good shape if we, you know, got a good push going down the backstretch. And evidently
Wants to come across as loud, not as clear, but as loud as
There were a
possible.
lot of engines blown today. Was the pace unusually rapid today?
Well, there's one thing I can say. Since he's here and he's my boss, I'll say this in front of him and God and everybody. He builds the best race car and the best race motor.
His hat looks
And
like Derek
I
Cope's
punished this
Busch
thing,
car at
and it stood
Richmond.
up there and took it all day long, and that's a tribute to Junior and the entire team, Jeff and Mike and Doug and all the boys back to the shop. Just fantastic. One whale of a race team.
You guys came in second in the pit crew competition today. How important is that from the perspective of winning a long race like this?
We wanted to be in here. That's the most important thing, and we did what we had to do to get here.
Okay, Darrell Waltrip, victory lane at Talladega.
Yeah.
Ooh. Let's rewatch the 2020 Extravaganza Coca-Cola 600.
Where's the Benny Parsons interview?
Didn't earn one.
For kicks, I'll watch it for like 2 minutes.
Oh, there's 3 videos. I like how the shootout video opens with you looking at the AAF or XFL fantasy, whatever. Yes, it was about 3:15 in the morning at this point on a Tuesday. End up like streaming this before work one day or something. That's Alaska time. That was like 6 in the morning here.
Dude, Brad, you're in 4th. Good job. Here comes Ryan on the bottom of Randy.
In what?
Started off with such high hopes.
Oh man.
In my 4th in.
The 2020 Charlotte 600.
We're going to Extravaganza 600.
Are you watching that again?
This has come full circle. Tim McDonald, one of the strongest. I don't remember anything about this. Flag pit stop. Randy Dobbins. Actually, Tim made 2 green flag stops, but the last one was not super out of cycle. Got his caution flag.
Pretty sure Ryan ends up winning.
On the lead lap and is now leading.
Oh, what are you doing?
Ryan pitted with about 100. I think that's under green. Lost 1 lap. Never mind. Got it back on.
Did he win a race this year?
No, he's never won one yet.
Ever?
Flew past everybody. Not in our coming deal. 6 laps to go.
But yeah, that's what I mean. No, he won in 4 races back in the day.
Nah, he used to be good.
Why is he not good in this?
He's old and his team's not.
Fixes it!
Ryan underneath Tim McDonald for the lead. Tim needs to make a crossover here. He's smart enough to know that the outside line will not work. New leader, Ryan Hoiser, 5 laps to go. Ken Pettit up to 3rd. I think that was the pass for the win. Can the R2W? It's Walt.
Oh, Google can be really stupid sometimes. Search for Moe's near me and it shows me Taco Bell. As 2 completely different things.
Let me know when you make your Moe's car.
I have to discuss it with Tim probably tomorrow or Wednesday.
Okay.